One World, One Culture by Janet J. Pakenham, Joe McIntyre, and Jessica Williams. So, in this lesson for the second years, we would like to see what does this one word, one culture mean. He tries to bring the globalization part in this particular essay. So, let's see what they are trying to give to us through this two separate word they are trying to combine them together. Let's see what is that the authors are trying to tell us. One word, one culture. We could see a culture is a rich source of language, arts, fashion, music, ideas, and food. It is at the core group identity. And while cultures have similarities, each is unique. You know very well. Each and every country have their own unique culture, and here they have their own similarities, and they are always very unique in their own way. Like when we take India, you know very well how rich our culture is. We are unique compared with many other countries in the world. So that is how we go with the uniqueness. A culture means it is going to be rich with all these kinds of resources with it. Its language, its arts, its fashion, its music, all this is going to combine together. All cultures are constantly changing and adapting to new influences. You know very well we have a lot of culture, and they start adapting themselves, and they start influencing others. So today the pace at which cultures are changing is increasing due to a number of factors. We are getting attracted to other culture due to many other reasons. We don't know what not. So many things are there that is going to give us this impact on us, so that we change our culture with it. So the what are the reasons behind this is your lesson all about. One factor is immigration. He talks about immigration, like people come from various countries to our country, and while they come, what they do is they try to bring in their cultures and spread it among us. Or what we do is when we go to other places, we try to give our culture to others, spread our cultures among other countries. This is a main factor for the cultural changes. And here when we talk about India, you know how rich we are, and the people who migrate and come to India give us a lot of changes. So the that is how the culture change. A second factor is globalization. you know how we are improving in trade. A trade as trade and technology build increasingly complicated connections among countries. Sociologists are debating that the effect of this globalization will have a change in an individual's culture. So this is how the changes are. He tried to say like the technology fields, technologists, okay, and the sociologists, both of them combine together to give this factor of globalization as a whole. So what they say, this complicatedly it is increasing, and people start giving up their own individual cultures. So when we talk about globalization, it can be defined as a system of very complex connections among countries. So it happens at both an economic and at cultural levels. So we try to get money or earn sell something, make our business very much broader. So when we do all these things, we are getting a growth in our economics, and at the same time the level of the culture also increases. That is what he's trying to say. Vast multinational corporations as Shell, Samsung, and Mitsubishi develop intricate relationships with different count across the globe. So you know very well we are all into this globalization, where we all are interconnected. We use a mobile made from other country. We use car which is manufactured in other countries, and we say it's an, uh, uh, an abroad foreign made car. All this we try to say. This is what is the changes over here. As these huge corporations spread throughout the world, some sociologists cite they believe that a process known as culture leveling will occur because the companies distribute identical products everywhere. So what happens is they start distributing identical products, and that is how we he feels that this cultural leveling will happen. So cultures that we or we were all having once, okay, that were once distinct, will become increasingly similar. Now we say like we have a distinct culture now. Just now when I began, I said India has a separate kind of a culture, but that will, as day passes by, that will is not going to be a distinct one or a different one. It's going to be one among the others. So it's going to get incorporated or going to get mingled with other kinds of cultures. So every shopping mall in every country will have the same stores. Clothes will be the same brands. Toyota advertisements will be on every television, and McDonald's will be in every corner. The result, these experts argue, will be a bland global culture in which the variety of cultures will be diminished as standardization takes over. So we feel that this culture is going to be, take a back seat. And when we are saying all the standardization, we have to have a standard kind of products. When all this comes into the picture, leveling, the cultural leveling is going to happen. So there's not going to be any kind of distinct thing which is going to separate Indian culture from the others. This is what they're trying to say. So other socialists dismiss the idea that individual cultures are so easily threatened by globalization. Like for one thing, nations are proud of their unique culture and as such take steps to prevent the erosion of their culture by another. But for some countries, they are very cautious about this, and they say we are only proud because we have a unique culture. When that culture itself is not going to be there, and what is there going to be behind to be so called as this particular country? So what they are doing is they're trying to stop, they're trying to prevent this erosion, this diminishing thing going behind. No, they're trying to stop. How they are stopping things? Now, for an example, he's trying to say, so outsourcing refers to the practice of sending some of the work of a company in one country to be done in another. So, India provides 44% of outsourcing worldwide, largely due to its highly educated English speaking workforce, which is willing to work long hours for less money than workers in developed countries. So, here, this is what outsourcing goes. We all say, no, he's working as a BPO, BPO. This BPO places what happens because we all speak good English. People started using us. And we people also sit and work for him in long hours. Technology companies and financial institutions have set up numerous call centers around India. So what happens here? People are getting good salary, but they what they have to do is they have to work in the time which they are uh, they, for them it's day. So for us it's night, means for them it's day. Around the clock they work. When American customers call their banks with questions, it is not unusual for them to speak to someone in Mumbai or Hyderabad. These companies want Indian employees to appear American to their customers. So what happens is they go and they project themselves as someone who is from America, but they are actually rightly from Mumbai or Hyderabad, sitting and talking with them. But there it is day for them, but for us it is night. So they provide their employees with intensive training in living and behaving as Americans. In effect, to be successful at work, the employees have to adopt American culture. So you have to be very successful. You have to adopt. You have to be an American. You have to talk to them as an America, as a person who is living in America itself. So all this happens. So he gives them training, and as a result, our culture is lost. However, recent evidence is beginning to show that this progress is coming at a price. Okay, before globalization, cultural changes happen slowly and incrementally. Slowly, it happened. Any one person will go and settle in America. They come, but now it is happening very fast. In contrast, the process of Americanization of employees in Indian call centers is extremely rapid. So very fast it's growing because you get earn money. When you earn money, what happens? Our people are like slaves working there. As Indian workers take as Western names, wear Western clothes, and even organize their workday around Western zone time. See, they can become alienated from their own culture. So they become alienated because of money. They are giving up their culture. This results in what socialists call a hybrid culture: Indian by day, American by night. So it's a hybrid culture. They are not having a single hybrid is combination of two, like how we do to this vegetables and all hybrid vegetation, two things connected like that. It is, we are now into this word called hybrid culture, where during the day we are Indians, but during the night we are all Americans. So this is what is happening. High number of employees complaining of depression or quitting their jobs is due to this. They start immediately, they get their own kind of panicness and they start quitting the job. The media with the United States as a dominant producer and exporter had also produced a profound effect on culture in other countries. So you could see in other countries also this is happening. Music, television, movies communicate North American attitudes on sex, religion. So what? See, it's happening in America. What happens is spread it through all these things. They take the television, like music, television, through this they start communicating. Because of this, the United States something accused of cultural bullying or pushing their cultures to other Americans. So they are pushing what is happening there. People are seeing, they are learning from that. 10 years ago most American programming shows overseas was relegated. They didn't even accept it, they didn't take it in such an account as an account to late night viewing. Today American shows in many countries are broadcast in prime time when the largest number of television viewers are watching. This popularity of American media therefore indicates a flawed argument around this topic. The global public clearly wants access to American media. So what happens is they're openly sitting and watching during that prime time. They are trying to showcase everything, and even for us, it's going to be night time. We are sitting and watching. This is what is happening to them. This is how they spread culture. In spite of global demand for Western media, governments of some countries have attempted to limit it. So it is globalization, fine, but government has taken some measures. See, in France, they have this is influencing, so they stopped it. So in 2005, for example, a French movie was not allowed to enter a prestigious French competition because it was just too American. So even if you are a French person, when it is too Americanism shown, means what happens is they're stopping. They don't want to show such culture to the France people. So see, this is how they start stopping all these. And government should take action with regards to this kind of effects that has been taken by, and so that we are not losing the culture. So most countries welcome the influx of Western media. Young people can listen to Lady Gaga in Bulgaria, surf Western. So what? See, most of the countries has shown no kind of restriction. They start viewing, enjoying everything. But still, what we are supposed to do is we have to bring it here and make it into RC. In 2006, rap came to Afghanistan in the form of a local artist DJ Besho. While using the same distinct rap beats, he raps in Dari, a local language. See, that's what it's very important. You should not give up your language. He brought the rap, but he changed it into his own language, into his Afghan, to his Dari language, and he avoids the profanity that is characteristic of Western rap. His songs speak of his love for Afghanistan. So whatever you learn, but the cultural integration should be that you should not give up your culture. You should bring it to your like our rap person also who sings. He sings a lot, but finally he brings Tamil is lost. People, finally he say, "Ana Tamil enda." அந்த மாதிரி rap music Tamil. So like that we have people. You should not give up your culture at any cost. So culture is not static, it is living and dynamic. It's not static, it is not stable, it is always dynamic, it is very strong, it is always living. It is the ability to change and adapt one's culture is an intricate part. You should have to adapt, but still you have to have your survival. So influence one culture is important, but you should know not to give up your own culture. What is new today is that globalization is increased. Yes, it is increased in a speedy process, but still you should know how to manage it. So this is what is your whole story about your culture. Okay. So your header as such, culture, one world. Okay, one world and one culture. Yes, we are having one world and one culture, but we at the same time this is happening, influencing, but still we should not give up. As Indians, our uniqueness mustn't be given up at any cost. We have a comprehension questions over there. Multinational retail means it is called like Starbucks only was taken away by that Chinese. Censorship laws we saw in France only they started stopping everything, and that fellow was in the language Dari, and then we have call centers, which has been coming up. If you are individual means it is Americanization. So this is how your answers for your question goes, and your the short this essay is all about these things, and I suppose you've understood the lesson. Thank you. Meet you in the next lesson.